In this class, we shall discuss about LCR circuits. In this LCR circuits, uh, inductance, capacitance, and resistor are connected in series, and finally, this is connected to an AC source. Let us see how the connections are made. The inductor, so the inductance is L, and this is the capacitor. So the capacitance of this capacitor is C, then this is the resistor, then the resistance of this resistor is R. Now this combination is connected to the AC source. So this is the alternator. So this alternator will give an instantaneous EMF of E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Suppose the potential difference across the inductor is VL at an instant. At the same instant, the potential difference across the plates of the capacitor is VC, and the potential difference across the resistor is VR. Suppose the current flowing through this circuit is I. Same current will flow because these connections are made in series. Suppose XL is the inductive reactance of this inductor, then XC is the capacitive reactance and resistance is R. Then we can say that the voltage drop across the inductor, that is VL. VL is equal to I multiplied by XL. And you know the formula for XL, that is, this can be written as I multiplied by omega L. Further we can write VC is equal to I multiplied by XC, and XC equal to 1 by omega C. So this term can be written as I multiplied by 1 by omega C. And similarly VR can be written as I multiplied by R. So we'll draw the phasor diagram for the voltages and find out the relation between E, VL, VC and VR. We can find out the relation, and we can also find out the phase angle between the current and the EMF. Now we will draw the phasor diagram. So these are the x and y axis. Suppose along this direction we will plot VR. We will plot VR along this direction. That is the vector VR. Now I will be along this direction of VR. So I can be represented like this. Now we know that in an inductive circuit, in a purely inductive circuit, the voltage across the inductor will lead by an angle of 90 degree with respect to the current. So we can draw VL like this. And in a purely capacitive circuit, the voltage across the capacitor lags behind by an angle of 90 degree. So we can draw VC like this. This is VC. So this is VL. So resultant of say this vector and this vector. This will be along this direction if VL is greater than VC. Say along this direction resultant of VL and VC will be VL minus VC. So this is VL minus VC. So we have got the resultant of this vector and this vector, and we have this vector, that is VR. So we can find out the resultant vector, that is E. So this vector and this vector will give a resultant, and we can find it out by drawing the rectangle like this. So this vector will be E, and the angle between E and I will be phi. That is the phase difference between E and I. So this will be the phasor diagram. Alright, so this is 90 degree because this is a rectangle. Now, as I mentioned here that this is VL minus VC and this is VR. So what is E square according to the Pythagoras theorem? So this is VL minus VC. So this will also be equal to VL minus VC. So by Pythagoras theorem you can write the square of this side is equal to square of this side plus square of this side. So we can write here that E square is equal to R square plus VL minus VC whole square. So we can write E is equal to square root of R square plus VL minus VC whole square. Now, coming back to these expressions, we have written what is VL, VC and VR over here. We'll substitute the respective values. So we will substitute the respective values. This will come out to be square root of I square multiplied by, this is VR square. So VR is I square R square plus VL minus VC. We can write for VL. VL can be written as I multiplied by XL and VC can be written as I multiplied by XC whole square. So this can be simplified. This expression can be simplified over here. We can write E is equal to square root of, here we will copy it down, so that is I square R square plus, here we can take I as common and if it comes out of the bracket we will get I square multiplied by XL minus XC whole square. So here I square and here also I square. So it can be taken to be common, and if we take out of the square root sign, then we can write this as I multiplied by square root of R square plus XL can be written as XL can be written as omega L and XC can be written as 1 by omega C whole square. So we will get an expression that is Z, that is given as E by I. E by I is known as the impedance of this circuit. So impedance of this circuit is equal to square root of R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C whole square. So this is the expression for the impedance of the circuit. This is an expression that offers resistance to the flow of current. Just like resistance, where we have the impedance. So this is the impedance of the LCR circuit. So in this LCR circuit, we can find out what is the phase angle between E and I. So E is given as E is equal to E naught sine omega t, and I is given as I naught sine omega t plus phi, where phi is the angle between E and I. So from this diagram we can write that tan of this angle is equal to this side upon this side. So we can write tan phi, we can write tan phi is equal to VL minus VC divided by VR. Now putting the value of VL, VC and VR from this expressions, we can write tan phi is equal to I multiplied by XL minus I multiplied by XC divided by I into R. So here I can be taken out to be common and we can cancel it out. So this can be written as XL minus XC divided by R. Now putting the values of XL and XC, so this can be written as omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by R. So this is the value of tan phi. So the EMF will lead the current by an angle of phi, provided that VL is more than VC. If VL is more than VC, then phi will be positive. Otherwise, if VC is more than VL, then phi will be negative. And if they are equal to each other, then VL minus VC will be equal to 0 and phi will become equal to 0. That is, there will be no phase difference between the EMF and current. So, we can discuss special cases over here. Some special cases. I have written here that tan phi is equal to omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by R. Now suppose omega L is greater than 1 by omega C. What I mean to say is, suppose XL is greater than XC. In that case, what will happen? This part will become positive and R is always positive. So tan phi will become positive. So in that case, we can write that phi will be greater than 0 degree. That is, EMF will lead the current. Now suppose omega L is less than 1 by omega C. If omega L is less than 1 by omega C, the numerator will become negative and phi will become negative. In that case, we can write phi will be less than 0 degree. So in that case, EMF will lag behind the current. So we can write EMF will lag behind the current. Okay. Now suppose take a condition where omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. Suppose omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. In that case, what is the value of phi? Phi will be equal to 0 degree. If there is no phase difference between EMF and current, that is, EMF and current will be in phase with each other. So in that case, we can write that EMF and current will be in phase with each other. Right. Suppose phi is equal to 0, then omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. I have told you about impedance. What is the expression for impedance? I have written here that impedance Z is equal to square root of R square plus 1 by, that is omega L minus 1 by omega C whole square. Now if omega L is equal to omega C, then omega L minus omega C will be 0. Otherwise, in all cases it will become a positive quantity because it is a perfect square. So if omega L is equal to omega C, the expression inside the bracket will become equal to 0. In that case, the impedance will be equal to the resistance, and in that case, the impedance will be minimum. So we can write here, if omega L is equal to 1 by omega C, Z is equal to R, and it is minimum, and this condition is known as resonance. This condition is known as resonance. So when resonance occurs, then what will happen? If resonance occurs, so during resonance, we can say that omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. That is to say XL is equal to XC. That is to say IXL is equal to IXC. So IXL is equal to VL, and that is equal to VC. That is, both the voltages will be equal, but both are out of phase. Both are out of phase. If we draw LCR circuit once again, suppose here we will draw the inductor. Here there is the capacitor, and here it is the resistance. So this is the LCR circuit, and the potential drop across the inductor is real, and the potential drop across the plates of the capacitor is VC. So during resistance they will oppose each other. If VL is along this direction, VC will be along this direction. They will be equal and opposite, so these two voltages will cancel out, and ultimately we can say that current and EMF will be in phase with each other, and only the potential drop will be along the resistor, that is VR, and that is equal to I into R. So that is the theory relating the LCR circuits. So based on this, we can solve a few numerical problems. That's a numerical. It is given that there is an LCR circuit. This is the LCR circuit. So this is L, this is C, and this is R. It is connected to an alternator. Now according to the question, it is given that the value of C is equal to 100 microfarad. Then the value of L is given as 0.5 Henry, and the value of R is given as 50 ohm. Further, it has been stated that this generates an virtual EMF of 110 volt, and the frequency is given as 50 Hertz. So these are the quantities that are given to us, and based on this we are required to calculate the RMS value of the current. So to find out what is EV, IV, virtual value of the current. And how do you find the virtual value of the current? So in order to find out the virtual value of the current, we should know what is EV is given to us, we should know the impedance. Since the value of frequency is given, we can find out the value of omega, because we know that omega is equal to 2 pi f. We know the value of L, we know the value of C, so we can determine what is XL and we can find out what is XC. Let us find out first of all XL. XL is equal to omega L. So this can be written as 2 pi f into L. So that is 2 pi into frequency is given, that is 50 Hertz. L is also given to us, that is 0.5. So that is equal to 50 pi. 50 pi ohm. So we have found out the value of XL. Likewise, we will also find the value of XC. XC has the formula 1 by omega C. So this can be written as 1 by 2 pi f to C. Now substituting the values, we will get 2 pi into 50. And C is 100 microfarad. So right here 100 into 10 to the power minus 6. So from here we can calculate the value of XC. So XL comes out to be 157.08. This comes out to be 157.08 ohm. And similarly, if we calculate the value of XC, XC comes out to be 31.83 ohm. 31.83 ohm. Value of R is already given to us. So, knowing the value of XL, XC and R, we can determine the impedance. So, we can write impedance Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Now put the values, you will get this as 50 square plus XL is 157.08 minus XC, that is 31.83 whole square. So this will come out to be, so you can find out the impedance. So impedance is 134.86 ohm. That is 134.86 ohm. So we have got the value of Z. Got the value of Z. Now we know the value of EV. So now we can determine what is IV. So you can write IV is equal to EV divided by Z. So EV is already given to us, that is 110. And we have calculated the value of Z over here, that is 134.8. So if you calculate this, you will get the value of I. The value of I is 0.816 ampere. 0.816 ampere. So that gives us the final value. Right? So I hope you might have understood the basic concept of LCR circuit. Thank you.